Hi, welcome to Mama Yoga Women's Workshop. This will be a 2-hour offering. It is my SEVA project, which is part of my 300-hour yoga teacher training. It's my final project. And SEVA is a project that all teachers do when they're finishing their 300-hour training. They offer a community workshop and accept donations that can be delivered to a charity of choice. So I hope you will consider supporting the charity that I've chosen. So this workshop is meant to embrace and replenish everything that is motherhood and everything that women do as mothers. Thinking back to my first pregnancy and entering into motherhood, I just had no idea what I was in for. Just the sleeping alone, during pregnancy, just how uncomfortable you are in your body, especially as you get bigger and bigger. And then once that little baby is born, it is so hard to keep those tiny people asleep at night. And it was exhausting. And I just had no idea how mentally taxing that would be, to have that kind of sleep deprivation night after night after night. And once my youngest daughter, grew a little bigger, she turned into a toddler, and she had a lot of opinions, and she had a lot of emotions. And so all of this kind of this physical and physical kind of depletion and exhaustion that gave way to, okay, now I need to learn some new skills to handle the emotions of this little person who has big feelings. So then motherhood becomes a whole other kind of a head game, where you have to read books and you have to educate yourself in all of these parenting techniques. And part of the reason I wanted to offer this workshop is because I feel like the female experience and the mother experience is so different than it probably was, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, when we lived in these tight-knit communities and villages, and we had support of family members around us and other women around us, our elders, friends, aunts, cousins, just other women, sitting around doing their work together, talking together, commiserating together. The modern term for this would be co-regulating, right? So that kind of communal environment helps us co-regulate with each other, which means everything that we're holding inside, all of that mental work, the emotional work, the physical work, when we can share in community with others, it not only do we feel better emotionally and more settled in our minds because we've gotten to share maybe verbally and just in proximity to other people, but also the internal experience of our physical bodies is regulated. So our nervous system settles down, all the things that we're after in this modern world when we're trying to practice meditation and thinking about vagal nerve tone, all of that stuff. It's really just pointed towards settling and regulating and finding peace and coming back to center, coming back to wholeness. So back to, the journey of motherhood. It took until, I guess, after my second daughter was 1 when I started a regular yoga practice, and it made all the difference in the world to me. It didn't help me feel better all the time, which is a conversation that I've gotten into recently with another mother, fellow mother. It's not like every yoga practice is a miracle, or some kind of balm that just solves every problem and heals everything immediately. But what I've found over the years of my practice is that it makes me feel whole. And that, to me, is more important than anything. It connects all of those different aspects of myself, so the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, all of those components come together on the mat, and this little rectangle is this kind of sacred space where I can finally slow down and just step out of that frenzied pace of the world. And sometimes it's really, really hard to get to the mat and to allow things to settle and to allow that mind to settle and open up to space for new thoughts to come in. Another thing that I remember post-pregnancies, so I have 3 daughters, and after I was done with all the pregnancies and childbirths and postpartum days and recovering, I just found that no matter how much yoga I practiced, no matter what other kind of cardio I was doing, you know, spin or walking, any of that stuff, my body was never the same. It's just, you know, 3 humans that passed through my body, and then feeding them through my body and carrying them with my body. I feel like I physically have never been the same since then. And it's taken a long time to come to peace with that. You know, just coming to peace with this belly that has stretched so big 3 times, and these breasts that have fed my babies. And I think part of the mother experience is to journey through these different transitions that we go through, from carrying that baby to caring for the baby to helping facilitate the growth of this person as they walk through the world, and then having self-care and self-awareness through all of that. So remembering to take the time to just really listen. What is your experience? What is your experience as a person, as a woman, as a mother? I remember after my 3rd daughter was born and she was just a little infant, and I got to go to the yoga studio one weekend morning to practice, and you know, my husband was taking care of our 3 girls, and I was in the yoga studio practicing, and this mantra just popped into my head, and it just kept looping, and it was just this little phrase, I am here, I am here. And it reminded me of Horton Hears a Who. Do you remember that Dr. Seuss book? The elephant and the little who's in Whoville, and only Horton can hear them, and they had these tiny little voices, and they were saying, we are here, we are here. And I just felt like I had this voice inside me that's saying, I am here. And what that meant was, first of all, I'm a separate person. You know, I mean, it's an amazing, miraculous experience to carry another human inside your own body for 9 months, and then to give birth to this person, and then to feed this person with your body, to carry this person, and they're attached to you, you know, from inside your body to nursing, to the holding, to, you know, the hand holding, the facilitating, all of those things. They're very much attached to you. And so to have that separate experience, me, a person here in this space, and a person who has my own experience and my own thoughts and my own sensations, it was really powerful. And for that time, during those infancy times, I just kept coming back to that. I am here. And it also meant grounding. I am here now, taking up this space in this moment. And so that's mindfulness, right? That's tuning into the present moment with awareness, without judging, just observing what is in that moment. And so that time in the yoga studio, it was just me practicing. And that gave me space to really experience whatever was happening back at home. You know, I could have that space to carve out to observe and reflect and replenish and renew. And then when I would step back into the house after those yoga sessions, it was chaos, right? There would be a young child and a toddler and a baby, and it's chaos. So in order to mentally prepare ourselves for that, and as our children get older, there's school, there's routines, there's homework, there's practices, there's other feelings as they go through life. So there's so much that we have to bear and hold as mothers. And so this yoga practice is really a way to tune into our own needs and to tune into our bodies, to accept the current state of our body, whatever that is, to honor the fact that we have given birth to humans and we have cared for those humans, and it's changed us. It's changed us physically and mentally and emotionally, and that's okay. So it's just meeting our body where it is now and finding out what can I give to that body now. So there are a few areas that I want to target in this practice today. The main areas that I've noticed in my body that have changed and I think are pretty typical for mothers. So the most obvious is pelvic floor, right? So all that stretching and weakening through pregnancy and childbirth. So we'll incorporate some different short practice exercises to help strengthen the pelvic floor. And we'll tune into it during some moments in our general longer practice that we'll do today. Another area is the lower back. So this is due to the abdominal weakness and the misalignment that can happen during the pregnancy period, and that maybe never quite comes back into shape. So I've noticed in my body that I have this lordosis, it's called. So it's this bigger curve in the lower back. And I mean, all those years of holding this big belly forward, right? Now I can look in the mirror and I can tuck my pelvis under and then pull my abs up and try to get that really nice flat belly, and then I go, it just pops back out again. It's just the alignment of my body has changed, and I can do some things about that. I can work with that in subtle ways during yoga practice and try to return my pelvis to a more neutral position. I can work on my abdominal strengthening, but I also feel like that is just part of my body's transition to who I am now. And so I try to work with that curve, and knowing that my belly is always probably going to be weaker than it was when I was in my 20s. I've also noticed this kyphosis, it's called, so it's like this rounding of the upper back, and I think that's a very common modern kind of shape to have because of all the computer time we have and all the time on our devices. For me, I felt like that rounding of the upper back really happened with all the carrying of babies. It was all, the baby carriers, the ergos and the slings and the holding and, holding on the hip that's going to make one hip higher than the other. And there was so much of that weight-bearing time caring for these 3 children over the years that I found that rounding in the back. And so I do try to practice during my yoga practices to open in ways that feel right to my body, and also to pay attention. If I'm opening and splaying out, sometimes that's just splaying out my core and my abs too, which makes the whole abdominal separation and the core weakness more challenging for me. So there's a balance in all of this. So we'll incorporate some gentle practices today to help work with those different alignments in the body. I also noticed that specifically with the core, there are a lot of things in yoga that just don't feel right to my body, and I've had to come to peace over the years with modifying. So modifying my practice. It's a lot easier to do in a home practice when you're by yourself and you're just, following along with an online class or just going through your own practice. In the studio, when you're next to people who may or may not have had the same body experience as you. Maybe there are some younger women in the studio who have never carried a baby before. And it's, I think, a natural human inclination to want to keep up. You want to make the same shapes in your body as your neighbor on their mat is making in their body, and that the teacher's cueing. But I noticed things like holding plank, doing regular sit-ups, regular crunches, leg drops, bicycles, like bicycle ab crunches, and especially boat pose, those things, I can just feel that they're wrong in my body. And it's based around this abdominal separation that's never quite healed up. So, you know, I definitely tried with yoga, and I did physical therapy afterwards, trying to target the abdominal separation. And the physical therapist said it might never close up. And she said it's kind of a mystery. Some bodies close up, you know, in that space between the abs, and some bodies don't. And they have never really been able to figure out why. It doesn't have to do with the mother's body weight or the baby's birth weight. It doesn't have to do with exercise or how active they are during pregnancy, before pregnancy, after pregnancy. You know, whether they do physical therapy or not. She said the only surefire way is surgery to close it, and I chose not to do that. So I tried to work with it with physical therapy and body alignment and yoga, and I've learned a lot about the deep layers of the abdominals and how to strengthen those in a body that has the abdominal separation, and how to just honor the space that remains after these pregnancies. So there's space here that will never close, and so I'm quite aware when I'm doing my abdominal exercises which poses aggravate that space. So when the obliques over-engage and start to pull out to the sides, I might feel some sensation in the lower back that doesn't feel right. I can just tell that it doesn't feel strong and pulled in, you know, like I used to feel before having my pregnancies, where if my abs were engaging, it felt like this kind of shield in the front. And that's one of the abdominal's functions, is to protect those internal organs inside. And so now that the shield has opened a little bit in the middle, there's some vulnerability there. And so when I'm moving through my core portion of my yoga practices, I modify and I choose some different poses. So we'll be incorporating some of those today, and I hope I can share those with any other women who have felt like their core has just never quite been the same, and that doing crunches and sit-ups and planks and all these things is just not helping. I hope that I can help with that today in this workshop, and also in future videos that I'll be recording and sharing. So that is the introduction to today's workshop. Today you will need your yoga mat, maybe some water if you want, wear comfortable clothes, get your stretchy pants out, and you might want to find 2 blocks, yoga blocks, or something else that you could use as a substitute. You can use a couple thick books, you can use some small pillows. So we'll be incorporating those into our heart opening practices. All right, meet you on the mat. Namaste. Welcome to your core practice. Go ahead and come to lying on your back. Just settle in first, making sure that your lower back feels comfortable and released. Allow your body weight to settle to the floor. Let your shoulders, neck release. Take in some deep breaths and some exhales. So we're starting with the core today because often it is the most vulnerable place that we feel as mothers and women. We've seen our belly stretch out multiple times and maybe not quite come back into the same shape that it used to be. And we can hold extra weight here. We can hold tension here. We can hold stress here. So there's a lot that's happened in this area, and we could use some healing in this area, some honoring in this area, and some strengthening in this area. So when I settle down onto the floor to start my core work, instead of just going right into it, like we go into so much of our lives just with will and force and getting it done, I like to first just relax and just give my body signals that it is okay. It is okay how it is in this moment. I'm not trying to make my body be different or make my stomach be different. So just taking a big breath, sigh it away, close your eyes. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Go ahead and place your hand on your belly. Inhale, and then slow exhale. Letting your belly move back into shape. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Alright, now we'll start some strengthening practice. So bend your knees, placing your feet flat on the mat. We'll start with some knee fallouts. So we'll start with the left side. We'll place our hands bring your hands into a triangle shape. Place them on your lower belly. You'll feel the points of your hip bones. And see if, after an exhale, if you can tighten your lower abs, pressing down with your hands, and see if you can feel some firmness just above the pubic bone between the hip points. There should be some firmness in the lower abs. And this is the transverse abdominis engaging. So we're not up here in what we think of as that six-pack area. I haven't had a six-pack or seen a six-pack in decades, but the rectus abdominis would be the six-pack area. So this is lower. We're trying to find the transverse abdominis layer, which wraps underneath the entire abdominal region, but we can really feel it engaging in the lower part of our belly. So we'll take an inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the lower abs, press down with the hands. See if you can feel that firmness. And that firmness in that area is what we're looking for through our entire abdominal practice, always. Not just today, but in every core practice that we do, we should have that deepest layer of the abdominals engaging. And that helps us to know that we're practicing our core work in a safe way. So in my body, if I feel my obliques over engaging, I know that I'm placing too much pressure on my abdomen. It's too much internal abdominal pressure, and it's just going to make the abdominal separation worse. So I want to make sure that I'm feeling closing in of my core, and I'm feeling the engagement in the lower abs. So for our knee fallouts, what we'll do is on the inhale, we'll let our left knee fall outward about halfway to the ground. We're keeping our right leg steady in place. We're feeling the firmness in this lower abdominal region, especially on the exhale. So we'll exhale to return to center. So let's move through a set of these. Inhale, fall out. Exhale, squeeze the lower abs. Inhale, fall out. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now we'll go to the right side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now we'll do a double knee fall out, and this time we'll start to engage that pelvic floor. So even though we're focusing on core work right now, we can invite some pelvic floor work to support that abdominal work. So we'll inhale, let both knees fall out. On the exhale, squeeze the lower abdominals, transverse abdominis, and the pelvic floor. So it should feel like a Kegel exercise where you're squeezing up and in. So exhale, squeeze, inhale. Release the abdominals and pelvic floor on the inhale, and then squeeze on the exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Continue. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, go ahead and bring the knees down to the mat, legs long on the floor. Straighten out the legs. We'll let the belly move towards the floor, tucking the pelvis under slightly, so tucking that tailbone. And it'll just lengthen out a little bit of the arch in the back. So you should still be able to slide your hands between your back and your mat. You don't want to press your back completely flat. That would make for a really big tailbone tuck, so we don't need to go that far. But we also don't want a big arc in our spine. And that, if there's too big of an arc, then the abdominals won't be engaged in a safe way. So find slight tuck of the tailbone, just enough to just barely bring your hands between your back and the mat. That slight tuck, if your legs are straight, you'll find that your quads will start to engage. Point your toes up towards the sky. Now we'll bring our hands behind our head. So it's like we're preparing for a traditional crunch, but we will be keeping our legs straight the entire time. And by keeping our legs straight, it's going to release some of the effort on the obliques, and we'll focus in on the center abdominals. You'll notice that your rectus abdominis is also engaging, as well as, and most importantly, the deep layers, transverse abdominis. So we'll bring our hands behind our head, squeezing those quads, toes upward, tailbone slightly tucked under, and we'll move through some slow crunches, just enough to feel the bottom of the shoulder blades. And down, up, feeling very strong through the center of the abs, tuning in to the lower portion of the abdominals between the hip points and the pubic bone, feeling that that is squeezing and engaging, and we're feeling a column of strength right through the center of our abdominal region. Let's move through sets of 10. So I've done 3, so we'll do 7 more. Nice slow movements. I think that was 9. Do one more. Okay. That's straight-legged crunches. Now we'll stretch out for a moment, nice and long. And then we'll bring our feet flat back to the mat. And we'll move through some toe taps. Bring the hands to the same place, lower abdominals. As we move through this work, we want to feel that lower abdominal region engaging. And we'll just lift the right foot, tap the toe, move through 10 toe taps. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring that foot flat. We'll do the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll release. Inhale, and on the exhale, squeezing the lower belly. Right side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Left side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Exhale. We'll do one more set. Inhale. Engage the lower belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Left side. You can be taking shallow breaths through all of the core work, but making sure to continue that engagement of the deep abdominal layers. 9, 10. Oh, squeeze our knees to our chest. A little rock from side to side, massaging out the lower back. Feet to the mat again. Now we'll be bringing our knees to our chest, one at a time. And this is my substitute for the yoga bicycles that I talked about that I know are not good for me. So the traditional yoga bicycles would be in a crunch position and we're doing this back and forth. I can just feel it does this to me. It's just too much engagement on the obliques, and that's where it's supposed to target. It's supposed to target the obliques, but if you have abdominal separation, the over-engagement of the obliques just further stretches the center apart, and you might have some connective tissue that starts to accumulate around the spine and some soreness in there because those obliques keep just pulling everything out to the side and getting stuck around the back area, which can add to the lower back pain. So for knees to chest, what we do is we'll keep our hands down low so we can keep in tune with that engagement. Slight tuck of the tailbone. And then it's similar to toe taps, except when we lift our leg, we're going to bring our knee all the way into our chest, and you'll feel it really target the lower abdominal region. And instead of doing one leg at a time, we're going to alternate. Bring it in, right side, left side, right, left, right, and really enjoy that final squeeze when you get your knee all the way to your chest. You should feel those lower abs working. Right, left, right, left, right, left. One more each side, and release. Now for a release in between, let's open up our legs to reclined butterfly. You can bring your arms above your head in a triple diamond. So diamond shape in the legs and the arms and between the forefingers and thumbs. And just really let everything open and release here. Inhale, side away. One more inhale. And exhale. We'll do one more set of knees to chest. Hands on the belly, and begin. Go 4 more on each side. That's 3, 2, and 1. And release long on the mat. We have one more core exercise to go through, so we'll get back into the shape where our legs are long on the mat, quads engaged, feet pointed up, toes pointed up, tailbone slightly tucked, hands behind the head. And now we'll do super slow round ups, and then we'll hold here. Every exhale, Squeeze your belly closer to your spine. If you feel your obliques engaging too much, just back off, move closer to the ground. You may be just rounding up too high. I'm feeling my shoulder blades. I'm feeling the center of my belly engage. Feeling my low belly engage. Holding here. And release. We'll do 2 more of those. Inhale. Exhale, bring the belly to the spine. Slowly round up. Hold here. Feel that strong belly in the center. Strong in the low abdominals. Working that deepest layer. And release. 1 more. Inhale. Round up. This time we'll add some gentle rocking, just from side to side. Not enough to really engage the obliques. We're still targeting the center abdominals. So the transverse abdominis, the rectus abdominis, but we're really targeting either side around that belly button area, cinching and strengthening towards the center. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, bring your knees to your chest. Gentle rocking. Release the lower back. Take some deep breaths. And then to get up, we'll roll to one side and we'll press up to a seat. Good job on the core work, mamas. All right, mamas, we can't have a mama workshop without talking about pelvic floor. So let's lay onto our backs, same shape that we started with for the core exercises. So feet flat on the floor. First, just taking a few breaths. Feel that nice strengthening work we did in the belly. Let your arms settle at your sides. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So today we will be working through some reverse Kegels. So in the traditional Kegel exercise, we are focusing on the squeezing of the pelvic floor. So squeezing in, lifting up, and working on those contractions. With the reverse Kegel, we are incorporating the relaxation and release of the pelvic floor. So in order to find the reverse Kegel, you basically feel like you're trying to pee. So if you need to pause and go empty your bladder, please do that. Okay, then when you're ready, come back. We will inhale. And then on the exhale, you're going to release the pelvic floor. You're opening and feeling like you're pushing on those pee muscles. Okay, so just like you're sitting and trying to pee. And that is when your pelvic floor is completely relaxed. So in order for the contracting part of the Kegels to have a bigger effect, we need to incorporate that full relaxation, or the reverse Kegel. Okay, so we'll just leave our hands flat on the mat. We'll inhale to start. Exhale, open and release. And then inhale, squeeze the pelvic floor up and in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You'll also feel your transverse abdominis engage, which is an added bonus. And then exhale, release, reverse Kegel. Inhale, squeeze up and in. Hold, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Release, exhale. Inhale. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, release. Now we'll hold the contraction for longer. We'll inhale, squeeze up and in, squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale, release, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale, release, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2 more of those. Inhale, squeeze, 2, 1, exhale, release, 3, 2, 1, 1 more of each. Inhale, squeeze up and in, 3, 2, 1, exhale, release. All right, that's our pelvic floor work for the day. All right, we're going to be moving into our short heart opening practice. So for this, you'll need 2 yoga blocks if you have them. If not, you can use books that are about this size. If you've read the Outlander series, any of those would work. You can also use pillows. You can use yoga bolsters, you can use lumbar pillows, would work great, or just regular pillows. So when we come into this shape, we're looking to find the bottom of our shoulder blades, so about where the brow line is. And we'll move on to the lower block there. And then the other block is just to support our head. So find the right placement for your body. You want to feel the opening into the back bend and the broadening in the chest and heart center. So this heart opener will help us counteract that rounding in the upper back that we get over time from all of the holding, the carrying, the computer work, modern living, and the emotional part of shrinking into ourselves. As women, not being able to speak our voice at times, not feeling heard, not feeling like we can step forward in the world. So these heart opener practices are so important to come back to ourselves, to come back to this living from wholeness, from living from the center of our being. If we look at the chakra centers in our body, the heart chakra is at the center. So we start at the base of the spine with the root chakra. We have the second chakra around the sacral area. We have the solar plexus, third chakra in our belly. And then that heart chakra, the fourth chakra, right in the center. And the energy flows up through the throat chakra, and then the forehead center, and then the crown of our head. So that heart really is the center of our energy in our body. It's a place where we can lead from, but if our heart area isn't open, we can't walk into the world leading from a heartful place. So the physical practice of yoga and opening into this heart area helps us tune in with our emotional center there, which then realigns our thoughts. So this practice reconnects us to our heart, opening back up to living in a heart-centered way in our lives and walking through the world in that way. And then we bring that home. We bring that to our partners, we bring it to our children, the way that we parent them. We bring it to how we nurture our own selves, how we can release some of that judgment that we're always offering ourselves as mothers, as women. And we can tune more into forgiveness and a practice of loving kindness towards ourselves. So go ahead and just close your eyes. We'll spend a few more minutes here, just opening, releasing, and just being with whatever comes up in this pose. Enjoy your heart opening practice. Let's inhale together and exhale through the mouth. To come out of this pose, bend the knees, and then we'll roll onto one side and press up to a seat. All right, mamas, let's move into vinyasa practice. So we'll come into easy pose, come to a cross-legged position, rock back and forth on your sits bones a little bit, just to find your center of gravity. Bring your hands to rest on your knees, round the shoulders up and back. Breathe into a tall spine, tall neck, and then close your eyes. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale. And exhale. Feel your weight against the floor. Feel yourself grounding into the mat. into the earth, sending your roots downward, anchoring here in this place in your body. And send your energy up your spine, through the crown of your head, stretching up towards the sky. Feel yourself growing tall and feel your roots moving deep into the earth. Inhaling and exhaling here. Now bring your awareness to heart center. Imagine a warm light there. Imagine this warm light glowing from your heart and expanding outwards. As you continue breathing, the light expands, moving outside of your body, stretching in all directions. And imagine this light big enough to surround your entire body. You are a mother, but imagine this light is wrapping you in its arms. It's comforting you. You feel warm. Just stay in this place, breathing. Feeling the warm light that's nurturing you and surrounding you. And bring your hands over your heart, breathing here. Letting yourself open to today's practice. Feeling gratitude for taking the time to nurture yourself, to move in your body, to slow down enough to find your breath and find your center. Knowing that this practice will bring love to you and to those that you love. Take 2 more breaths in this warm sphere of light with your hands over your heart. And release your hands back to your knees and gently open your eyes. Inhale and sigh it away. Let's move into hands and knees. Tabletop position. Just feeling our neutral spine here. Rocking a little bit from side to side. Just feeling the weight on our hands, feeling the weight on our knees. And let's press back into a puppy pose. Bringing the chest towards the mat. Forehead down, stretching long in the back body. Stretching through the shoulders. Breathing here. And come back to tabletop. We'll move into a thread the needle twist. So right palm is on the mat, left arm. We'll tuck under the right arm. Left side of the head on the mat. Stretching into the left shoulder and feeling that gentle twist in the upper body. Breathing here and opening. Inhale. Press up. Sit onto your heels. Then we'll stretch that left arm up to the sky. And come back to tabletop. We'll switch sides. Thread the needle to the other side. With the right arm under. Right side of the head down on the mat. Breathing here into the twist. Press back up to tabletop. Move back onto your heels. Stretch the right arm up, open, and back to table. We'll move into some lateral side bends. Left fingers tented on the mat. Right fingers tented on the mat. Left arm sweeps up and over. Lateral side bend, stretching into the left side body. Chest opening towards the sky. And release. Other side. Left fingertips tent on the mat. Right arm sweeps up and over. Lateral bend. Right side body opening. Looking up towards the sky. And release. Let's press back into a child's pose. Bring the knees wide on the mat. Toes come together. And sink back, pressing the hips down towards the mat. Arms long in front of you, forehead resting on the mat. Stay here for 3 breaths. When you've completed your 3 breaths, press back up into a tabletop. We'll stack our joints. We're stacking hips over knees, shoulders over elbows, over wrists. Stretch the right toes to the back of the mat. Right leg strong and long. Pull the abdominals up towards the spine. Feeling that core engagement, and we'll rock from front to back, feeling what that does to the abdominals as they continue to squeeze upwards towards the spine. Breathing here, squeezing, and release down. We'll change sides. Left toe stretch to the back of the mat. Squeeze the belly up towards the spine. Gentle rocking, just feeling that strength in the core of your body. And release. Let's go through some cat-cows. We'll inhale for cow. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale, release the belly into cow. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral. We'll stretch the right leg back again. Toes tucked, abdominals pulled up towards the spine. Now we'll lift that right leg, keeping the left toes tucked under, feeling long and strong from the back right heel all the way to the crown of our head. Swivel your elbow points and biceps forward, and we'll be moving into some fun push-ups with our legs lifted. So we'll do 3 on each side. Let's inhale and lower. Exhale, lift, lower, lift, lower, and lift, and return to tabletop. Those are fun. Let's switch sides. Left toes back on the mat. Belly pulls up and in. Left leg lifts. Tuck the right toes. Elbow points forward. And we'll move into our push-ups. Down. Up. Down. Push up. One more. Down. And push up. All right. Strong mamas. Let's move into one more cat and cow. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. And we'll press up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale here through the nose. Exhale, side away. Spread your fingers wide like starfish. Heels press towards the mat. Arms and legs long and strong. Feeling that back body open up. Feeling the hamstrings and the calves stretching. Breathing here. Inhale, lift to the top of the mat. Step and fold. Bring some bend into the knees. Hands can move to opposite elbow creases. And we'll stay here in a ragdoll forward fold. You can sway the upper body to release the back. And once you settle in, you can find stillness. And just let your body hang. Head and neck releasing towards the ground. Breathing here. Inhale to a halfway lift. Always come to your shins. Flat back. Breathing into length from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Inhale and forward fold. Exhale, roll up to mountain pose. Stay here for a breath. All right, we'll move through some sun salutations. Hands come to your side. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Shift forward. On the exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Forehead to the ground. Inhale for cobra. And exhale, press up and back to downward facing dog. Stay here for 2 breaths. Inhale, bend your knees, look to the top. Exhale, step and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, return to mountain. Close your eyes, 2 breaths. Open the eyes. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, press up and back to downward dog. 2 breaths here. Long and strong. Inhale, bend your knees, lift to the top. Step, fold on the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Return to mountain. Close your eyes. 2 breaths. Open your eyes. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale, bend the knees up to the top. Exhale, step and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Hands through heart center. Return to mountain. Close your eyes. 2 breaths. And we'll open the eyes. Inhale, sweep up to chair pose. Weight towards the heels. Tuck in the tailbone. Belly pulling in and up. Arms stretching up. Shoulder blades down on your back. Feel the engagement of your quads working here. See if you can lean back towards your heels. 1 more inch. Enough to lift your 10 toes off the ground. Wiggle them around. Inhale and exhale. Fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Step back and lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Stay here for a breath. Inhale. And crunch knee to nose. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. And exhale, step forward to runner's lunge. Right knee over right ankle. Long line from the left heel to the crown of your head. Opening through the chest. Fingertips are tented. Try to squeeze your feet together on the mat. Squeezing them towards each other. Bringing a little bit of the weight out of your fingertips. Inhale. Exhale. Step to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale to mountain. Breath here. And breath out. Now we'll sweep up to chair. Stay here for the exhale. Inhale. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Stay here for the exhale. Inhale. Crunch, knee to nose, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step forward to runner's lunge. Right toes are tucked. Left knee stacked over left ankle. Long line in the right leg all the way up to the crown of your head. Stay here breathing. Tuning into your breath. Feeling that strength building in your body. Inhale, lift to the top, and exhale, step and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale to mountain. Breath here. Breath out. Inhale, sweep up to chair. Stay for the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Breath in, breath out. Lift the right leg. Inhale and exhale, crunch, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. And exhale, step forward. Runner's lunge. This time we'll bring our left palm to the mat. We'll spin the right arm up to the sky for dragonfly twist. Stretching open through the chest. Fingers stretching up to the sky. Long line of energy in your left leg and between your fingertips. Inhale and exhale. Bend your knees, look to the top. Step and fold on the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale to mountain. Feel that energy building in your body with this practice. Inhale, sweep up to chair. Stay for the exhale. Inhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Step back and lower. Inhale for cobra. Exhale. Press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, kick up. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. And step forward into runner's lunge. Right palm flat on the mat. Left arm spins up into dragonfly twist. So your shoulder blades squeezing together on your back. Lift your right knee, engaging the quadricep. Pressing into the mat with your right big toe. Long lines of energy here, breathing into the twist. Inhale, and step to the top, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, eyes closed. 3 breaths here. Let your heart rate settle. Let your breathing calm down. And feel all the energy circulating through your body. Bring yourself back to this moment. Back to your body. And back to this practice. It's making you stronger. It's making you more whole. Open your eyes. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back on the mat. Move up into crescent lunge. Arms sweep up to the sky. We have a gentle heart opener and back bend here, but let's make sure that our tailbone is still slightly tucked under so that our abdominals continue to engage, pulling up and in. We don't want to move too forward into our back bend and let the abdominals splay open. So slight tuck and lift here. Once you have that engagement in the core, then you can sweep the arms up from there, not losing that core concentration. Let your shoulder blades move down on your back. Stay here a couple more breaths. And exhale. Press back to downward facing dog. Feel that lengthening in your spine and down dog. Give your head a little shake. Let it hang towards the ground. Inhale, sweep up your left leg. Exhale, step forward. Rise up into crescent lunge. Same idea, slight tuck in the tailbone. Lift through the abdomen. From there, you have stability. Sweep the arms up. You can feel the opening in the back bend and the thoracic spine. Making sure that you have stability in the lumbar spine and the core. Breathing and stretching, crescent lunge. One more inhale. And exhale. This time step to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, return to mountain. Close your eyes, 2 breaths here. Open the eyes. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the right foot back. Inhale, rise up to crescent lunge. This time we'll bring our hands to prayer. Shift the weight forward, and then we'll launch and lift into modified warrior 3. If you'd like, you can bring your arms back into airplane pose. Toes are pointing down towards the mat. Abdominals are lifting, squeezing up towards the spine. Left leg strong, wobbling, helping you balance. Inhale here, and then we'll step back into crescent lunge. Inhale, and exhale. Move into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step forward. Crescent lunge. Hands into prayer. Shift forward. Balancing here. Bring your arms into airplane pose. Core strong, helping keep the back leg lifted. Toes pointing down. Right leg balancing. Inhale. Exhale, step back to crescent lunge. Inhale and exhale. Step to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale to mountain. A little bit more standing work here. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring the weight to the right foot. We'll lift the left leg up and back into a standing split. Same idea as with airplane pose. We're using our abdominals to help lift that back leg. You can squeeze into the left hamstring, the left glute. Now we'll place a little bit deeper bend in the right leg. And then let's touch the left toes to the mat and then lift. Touch and lift. One more. Touch, lift, and then step and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your weight to your left foot. Hands down on the mat. Lift the right leg into a standing split. A little bit of bend in the left knee. Touch the right toes to the ground. Lift. Touch. Lift. Touch. Lift. And fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. And hands through heart center to mountain pose. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step and open into warrior 2. Make some subtle adjustments until you settle into place. Right knee is stacked over the right ankle. Toes are facing forward. Left foot is spun out at a 45-degree angle. Looking out over the right middle finger, stretching and opening. Inhale. And we'll shift our weight forward, placing our right fingertips on the ground and launching and lifting into balancing half moon. Breathing and opening here, stretching up to the sky with your left fingers, left foot, feeling that hip open. And step back into warrior two. Bring your hands to heart center. And we'll just pivot our feet, move into the left side, warrior two. Left knee stacked over left ankle, right foot flat on the floor, looking out over your left fingers. Stretching and lengthening here in warrior two. And we'll bring our weight forward towards the left side. Lowering down, launch and lift into balancing half moon. Right leg, right arm lifting towards the sky. Using our abdominals to help keep that leg lifted. Strong left leg grounding into the earth. And step back into warrior two. Bring your hands together and pivot. And we'll step our feet closer together to hip width. Sweep the arms up. Inhale, forward fold. We'll hook our big toes with our peace fingers. Move into a halfway lift. And then deepen our fold, bending through the arms, using our arm strength to pull us deeper. Let your neck and head hang heavy here. Breathing in the fold. That deep stretch in your hamstrings and the opening in your lower back and then your neck. 2 more breaths. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to high mountain. Hands through heart center. And returning to mountain. And we'll step out wider. Toes facing out. Heels in. We'll lower into a horse pose. So really strengthening through our quadriceps here. Feel the tailbone tuck under slightly. Abdominals pulling it up and in. Pelvic floor lifting up. Breathe here in horse pose. Bring your arms to cactus. We'll inhale. Open the heart. Exhale. Crunch in, tucking the tailbone under, abdominals crunch in. Exhale, open. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Arms out. Sink lower in horse pose. Pull the pelvic floor up. Abdominals up. Quad squeezing. And stretch up. Now toes pointing in, heels out. Stretch out into star pose. Inhale. And dive into a straddle. Wide-legged straddle, Prasarita. You can leave your hands on the mat, or you can find your peace fingers, hooking your big toes again and pulling yourself into the fold. Breathing here. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips, bend the knees, and rise back up. And we'll step to the top. Bring your feet to mat width. Toes pointing out, heels in, hands to heart center. And we'll sink slowly down into goddess pose. Lift the pelvic floor. Lift the abdominals. Lift through the spine. Lift through the neck and head. Send the breath from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head on the inhale, and then back down on the exhale. Rooting into the ground. Inhale. Follow your spine up through the crown. Exhale. Rooting into the ground. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now we'll just sink onto our butt and roll all the way back, bringing your knees to your chest. Squeezing in here. Just a little bit of core work. Feet flat on the mat. We'll bring the right leg long. With your left foot, press into the mat. When you press in, you'll feel that your right quadricep engages, your spine pushes closer to the mat, and your abdominals engage. Once you feel all of the strength around the middle part of your body, point your right toes, and then lift your leg 3 inches off the floor. Hold here, breathing, squeezing through the abdominals, and lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. Breathing here, and lower. One more, inhale, exhale, lift. Small breath here. And release. Right foot flat on the mat. We'll change sides. Bring the left leg long. Right foot press actively into the mat. Feel that engage your abdominals, your left quadricep, and your lower back pressing into the mat. Point your left toes. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the left leg 3 inches off the mat. Small breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Small breath here. Release. One more, inhale. Exhale, lift. Small breath. And release. Hands on your lower belly. Inhale, let your legs fall out. Squeeze back to center. Now we'll move through these a little bit quickly, letting your knees flutter like butterfly wings, keeping your belly engaged the whole time. You can take shallow breaths here, never losing that abdominal engagement. A couple more seconds, and release. Big inhale, exhale. Bring your knees to touch, feet wide on the mat. Let your arms fall out to a T. Inhaling and sighing. Now grab a hold of your feet for a happy baby. Let your knees fall wide, hips open. Feet flat towards the ceiling. If you can't reach your feet, you can grab your outer calves. Whatever you can hold. Try to pull in towards the ground. You feel how that opens your lower back and stretches through your hip area. Breathing and opening. And release the feet to the mat. We'll move into a back bend, bridge pose. Fingertips just grazing the heels. Palms flat on the mat. Tuck your tailbone and lift up into a bridge pose. You can bind your hands together underneath you, bringing your shoulder blades together and lifting your chest. Feel the lengthening through your lumbar, opening into the back bend. Stay here for 3 breaths. And release. Knees together, feet wide on the mat. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, and close your eyes. Feel the effects of your practice so far. Open your eyes, release your hands, move into a reclined twist. Let's bring your knees to your chest. Let them fall towards the right side. Arms to a T. Turn your head, gazing over to the left. Breathing and opening into the twist. And release. Other side. Come through center, let your knees fall to the left side. Turn your gaze over your right shoulder. And back through center. Squeeze your knees to your chest one more time. And release long onto your mat. Setting up for Shavasana. Let your feet fall wide apart. Arms, shoulders release. Back releases. Belly, neck, head. Release into Shavasana. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Bend your knees. Roll over to one side in fetal position. And press up to a seat with your eyes closed. Coming into a cross-legged position. Your hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Let's come into a meditation practice. I'd like to read a poem from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran called On Children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer seeks the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. So as mothers, we have these beings that come through us. We birth these babies, we love these babies. They're our hearts walking around in the world on feet, as they say. But they don't belong to us. They have their own life, they have their own soul, their own thoughts, and their own dreams. And as mothers, we give and we give and we give, and we love so much. And then we have to step back. And we have to give our children their own freedom and their own failures, and we need to let them fall, and we can help them back up, and we can give them love again and again, and we help them grow into these beings that are also strong and also resilient. And the only way to become resilient is to move through life's challenges. And part of a mother's challenge is to separate from a child, to let that child walk into the world. And it can be hard. It can be hard to love so much and to see these little people get hurt. We want to protect them all the time. But we have to let them experience their own journey. So in today's meditation, let's just open to an awareness of the fact that we are all children of our own mothers, that we came from those women, and then we stepped into our own life, we made our own way, and we had our own children, and now we're watching our children grow, and we're helping them grow. We're giving of ourselves, and today we're giving to ourselves. So find your comfortable seat, bring your eyes to close. Feel your sits bones grounding into the mat, breathing into a tall spine. Hands resting gently on your knees. Let's open into this motherhood meditation practice where we nurture our own bodies and our own spirits. We are on our own journeys. Breathing. Bring your attention to the base of your spine. Feel a warm, red, glowing energy there. Just imagining this light. It's rooting you in your seat. It's rooting you in this moment where you are safe. You are held. Breathe into this red light at the bottom of your spine. And let it support you. And move your awareness into your belly. And into your soft belly that carried your babies, that has stretched and grown and then emptied. And returned to you. This is your space that you've shared with your children. You've grown them in love. That love would be with them always. And today, it's love for you. Bring a warm awareness to your belly. Just have gratitude for all its abundance. Feel your belly expanding as you inhale. Filling, and then releasing. Returning closer to your body on the exhale. Inhale and exhale. Grounding and centering into the base of your spine that's supporting you, and into your belly that's ebbing and flowing with your breath. Now move your awareness higher to your heart center. Bring a warm green glow into your heart center. Feel its energy as your heart pumps the blood through your body, supporting your life. As it supported the lives of the babies you carried. As it still supports them through your loving guidance, through your patience, through your forgiveness for all the mistakes that your children make, and for all the mistakes that you make. Breathe here, feeling love and letting go of anything you need to let go of. And bring your attention to your shoulders and your shoulder blades. If there's any tension here, breathe some release into these arms that do so much, carrying the weight of your family, carrying the weight of everyone's needs. Arms and hands that do so much and give so much. Send some warm release into these areas. And move upwards into your face, wrapping up around your forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head. Breathe tall here, expanding upwards towards the sky. Imagine the light of the sun beaming on your face, replenishing you, helping you to grow and to be nourished. Stretching tall through your spine and through your neck and head, just like a plant reaching up to face the sun. Let this light shine on you and nurture you. And now connecting from the base of your body, moving up to the crown of your head. Feel your body as one connected part. You are whole. You are love. You are loved. Stay here for another couple minutes, just breathing in this awareness. Soaking in everything you need from the practice. your breath. Expanding on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. We'll take 3 more breaths together to close this meditation. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. And open your eyes. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. Thank you for joining me for this Mama Yoga workshop. I hope that you have been nourished and replenished and strengthened today. And I invite you to take a little time now, if you think it would be beneficial, to maybe before you return back to your normal life, your busy life, just take a little more time for some reflection. You can just sit in a still, quiet space and bring some awareness to how your body feels, to how your spirit feels. Or if you like to journal, maybe just some writing in your journal, and spend a little bit of time reflecting about how you feel and how you would like to move forward and keep nourishing your body. If you would like to give me any thoughts on this workshop, I would be really happy to hear about your experience. So you can send me an email, marisa@mamayogastudio.com, and you can look for more videos to come. I'll be posting some videos on that website, mamayogastudio.com, and I'll also be posting some free videos on a YouTube channel. And after this yoga journey of getting trained to become a teacher, I'm looking forward to sharing more yoga practices. I'll be providing lots of free practices on both of those forums, YouTube and on my website. And I will also be offering some group classes. Those will be paid classes, but cheap, cost effective. If you want to join me for those, we can do some live stream practices on Zoom. And I'll also offer some private one-on-one sessions. I've been teaching private singing for a long time now, and I love working on one-on-one. We can really tune into each other, and I can really tune into what my student needs, just that one person standing in front of me. So if you feel like you want help with your personal yoga practice, just to deepen your practice, to learn more about the yoga postures, yoga philosophy, meditation, pranayama, how to incorporate a personal practice into your life, or if you just need someone to help you with those basics, just learning, what does warrior 2 mean? How do I make a good down dog? Any of that stuff, I'm happy to help. So I hope you enjoyed this workshop, and thank you for joining me. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.